Alright, hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So this is gonna be just a little kind of guide, little intro kind of thing, just for not too in depth, but kind of just how to get started in running this game. So the first thing is just like, here I am on Snivilac. The boss has been killed, so I'm just in the big arena area, and this is a really great area for just learning and messing around with movement tech. And I would recommend just kind of familiarizing yourself with all of the movement tech options a little bit in this area before you start, doing attempts or anything. It's a really good spot. You can start, you can do your neutrals in spots like this. You can chain your side flips, which you really want to be able to do this kind of stuff. Just turn it into second nature, or you can find a spot, like here I'm on a ledge, so charging into a falling neutral, stuff like that. There's a lot of things you can practice here. There's even spots where you can practice proxy. So this wall over here is a bit weird. It doesn't look like you can proxy, but you actually can. So if you want to practice just, proxying into walls, you can here. So yeah, this is a really interesting spot for practicing. I would really recommend using this spot. There's also like Grelbin and Tabora, the deserts, which are a little bit more finicky terrain. They're not dead flat, so if you want to practice in a more maybe realistic environment, then they're pretty good. But yeah, just wanted to say, get yourself familiarized with the tech. It's also good on this planet because if you'd like to, you can come near the ship. I've got cheat codes loaded, by the way. I'm going to have cheat codes loaded this whole time just for the ease of explaining things. It's also great because you've got these areas where you can practice like your mid-air jumps and stuff, and then you can just die and start again if you want to, and you can just keep on practicing this jump, or these pieces of tech, or if you'd rather practice, a decoy jump, then that's fine too. So yeah, I'd recommend just messing around with the tech, making yourself kind of understand a lot of it. Just skim through the run, look at what we do, look at what you need to understand, like, the falling neutrals and stuff. Even on ledges like that, you can get falling neutrals, just try and familiarize yourself with the movement. You're going to have a much easier time learning the route if you've just played around with the movement, even for just a couple of hours, like, not even, just like an hour. Learning the actual movement before you try to learn the route is going to be really helpful for you. So yeah, now that we've done that, the other thing about the file itself is you want to make sure that you have the, not necessarily optimal file, but you should be aware if you're going to be setting up your file to run this game, there is an optimal file. So you'll notice this is the file I do runs on, and this is not maxed out. 100% file is actually not optimal. So this specific way I've got my weapons leveled up, don't own the clank zapper, stuff like that. This the level it is. Some of these upgraded, some of them not, This is very deliberate. This is so that when I'm looking in the vendor, and the vendor only changes based on your weapons after you enter challenge mode, keep that in mind. But this is so the vendor has the Tetra Bomb in the center, and then it has the decoy glove, and originally it was Rhino next to it. I think you can just not upgrade the bomb and you'll have Rhino here instead. We don't use the bomb glove anymore, but originally it was there. But basically, you've got Tetra Bomb center and you've got decoy to the left. That's optimal because in the optimal route, you always need to buy hover bomb ammo because we do poking. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you're going to be setting up your file, do that. That being said, the other thing you're going to want to have on your file is swing shot. So there's a thing called swing shot storage. You do it the entire run. You keep the swing shot as your secondary. And you're going to need to have that on the file before you set it up. So what you're going to do, before you can actually start runs to set up your file, you've got your weapons, you've got your levels, you've got your charge boots, all that sweet stuff. You're going to come over to your ship, you're going to go to Yeedil. And the way you set up your file is actually very important. So what you do, basically, whenever you kill Protopet on the file, whatever your secondary weapon or gadget is actually going to remain into challenge mode. So what we do is, rather than keeping that as a weapon, what you can do is you can come to Yeedil, and you can go to the boss fight. And what you can do is you can actually make, you see how the swing shot's my secondary? The Rhino is going to be overwritten by Lancer when we go into a new file, because it's my primary weapon. But the swing shot is my secondary, so it's going to remain. So what you can do is you can kill the Protopet. And now the Protopet's dead. What we're going to do, we're going to skip through these cutscenes. there should be more. Come on, disc. And here. So I'm not going to actually make a new save, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So you'd go into challenge mode. You'd be loading up Aranos 1. And this is just for NG+. So no IMG, you'd have your weapons a little different. For most people, you shouldn't do slingshot storage and no IMG, but for straight NG+, what you're going to be doing is after you gain control, so skip that cutscene, gain control, and the first thing you're going to do, you're going to come into your menu, and you're going to equip your charge boots. If you have any armor except the best, it doesn't matter what armor you have, but you're going to equip your charge boots. You're going to come to your quick select and set it up however you like it. I personally have my quick select set up as shown. It looks like... No, not that. That. Now, I use that for both no IMG and NG+. Now, what I would recommend is make that your quick select, but throw in Sheepinator as well. I don't have that there, but that's for reasons that you don't need to worry about. This is the quick select that I'd recommend you have setting up. You're allowed to have your quick select done before files are made. That rule was changed recently, and same with charge boots, you're allowed to pre-equip them. The other thing you're going to want to do, come into your options, go into help desk, and make sure help desk text is on. So basically, help desk text, even if you have it disabled, is always going to register anyway. So it's going to pop up, it's just that you're not actually going to see the text if it's off. Which means you're still going to have to press triangle to skip it, you're just not going to be able to see it. So you might as well have it on so you can see when you're going to have inputs that are going to get eaten. So that's the reasoning behind help desk text. The other thing is quick select pause off. Quick select is going to lose you a lot of time if you have quick select pause on. And camera, you're going to want whatever your preferences are here. I have them both reversed. And then fast camera, because anything other than fast is obviously going to be losing a lot of time. 16:9 widescreen you also want to have off, because when you throw on widescreen, what it does, it looks like it stretches the game upwards, but it actually squishes it. It basically cuts off the tops and then stretches it out. That's how widescreen registers. So you actually lose a lot of the image. And this game has some things based on line of sight. So things need to be on your screen for them to actually work. For example, dynamos. So you want to make sure that even if you're playing on a widescreen and the game is stretched, you want to be playing on widescreen off regardless. So then what you're going to do, you're going to pull out your Lancer, skip the help desk, pull out the swing shot, which should be a secondary, so just double tap triangle. And then you're going to equip decoy. So then your file is going to be swing shot secondary decoy. You're going to have your quick select set up the way you want it, and you've got your charge boots. And then help desk text and camera all set up properly. So that is how your file should be set up. Now, let's get into the actual run, shall we? So, what you're going to do, you're going to start with your file. You're going to load your file. Timing starts on the frame that you gain control. So, I tell you when timing starts. I'll point it out when it happens. Generally, people on PS2 have their timers set to -15.7, so it roughly syncs. And there. That is where the timing would start. So then you're going to just go hit start, press up once, X, up, X, up, X. That's going to take you to Isomniac Museum. Keep in mind this guide is for NTSC Black Label only, which is the optimal version for running this game. We're going to load Isomniac Museum. Once you load Isomniac Museum, you're going to just walk back into the teleporter. If you're exactly in the center, then it will actually skip half the animation. It will just instantly teleport you like that. Then we're going to load into Boldan. And that's where the run's really going to start. Alright, so making sure you're mashing X, because that means you skip the ship starting animation. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come over this way. You're going to try and slap it up here. If you miss it, that's okay. You're just going to enter first person mode. Climb up here. Turn your camera this way. Put on your shield and charge off. And then hit this button. Come over this way. And then you're going to pull out your swing shot, because if you overwrite swing shot, so with swing shot storage, as we've set it our secondary, you'll notice we don't actually have swing shot in our gadgets. So if we overwrite it, we would actually lose it, and we wouldn't be able to have it when we need it, which is on Sniv. So what you're going to do, every time you need to change weapons, you're actually going to pull out the swing shot first and then pull out the weapon you need. In this case, you're going to pull out the turret. And all neutral weapons, or all weapons that can do neutrals and cancels in midair, essentially function the same. So in runs, the two that we use generally for NG Plus are turrets and Rhino. Those are the two weapons we use for canceling midair, and they function the same. So you're going to have your turret out, you're going to line up, you're going to cancel, and hyper strike into the dome to get dome clip. Now, that might take a little bit of playing around with. That's a pretty hard trick to learn to begin with, but if you just line it up properly, take your time, then you can get it down pretty easily. So now what we're going to do, we're going to skip the first cutscene, we're going to glide onto this first one, jump and glide, jump and glide, jump and glide. We're going to kill these guys, punch that, bring him over to the elevator, use the hammer command. Now one of the things you want to do, like you just saw me do there, as soon as he destroyed it using the hammer, I did a follow command. So what that does, basically, is every time he uses hammer, I'll show you on this one, so I'll bring him out. I forgot to bring him out this way. If I let him just play out the animation normally, you'll see, normally he does the salute, and he stops, and he doesn't move for a few seconds. So basically, as soon as he uses hammer, I'll show you it here as well, so he does a salute here after he's done it normally. Like that. But if we use the hammer and cancel it as he does it, he just goes straight into following like that. It saves you about 2 seconds every time. So what we're going to do, we're going to use hammer. We're going to stand in the corner. And then go up this way. Now we're going to kill those guys. Kill those guys. Free these guys. Just make sure you kill all these guys. And then make sure these guys don't get lost. Because if you go too quickly through this section, then you'll actually drop off this elevator. And the back guy will still be back off the elevator, and he won't come down the elevator. So you press the button, come and stand over on the pad, facing forward. You want to make sure you're always facing towards where you're going, because if you don't, you can sometimes get dropped. So then we're going to use hammer. We're going to land, and then enter. And they come through this way. If those guys get in your way, you can kill them, but often you can just avoid them. See, that guy came on the elevator, so I had to kill him. Now, where's the other guy? There's always two guys here. So then just tell these guys to attack. They'll kill this guy. And then use follow on that guy. And then punch through this one. Now, this next bit is a bit that a lot of people tend to have trouble with. So the trick here is you've got to run straight towards the first guy on the right side. So you're going to start on the right and punch him towards the boxes. As long as you don't stop moving, he will never hit you. Now, similar thing with this next guy. You're going to run on a diagonal angle from where I am now to the right. And as long as you don't stop moving, he won't hit you. So then you're going to use the follow command. See there, I bumped them to try and get them in a perfect line. If you mess that up, that's okay. It doesn't save too much time. You're going to come through here and press the button. So that's the clang section. A little bit to learn, but not too much. So now what we're going to do, we're going to come towards this wall. We're going to hold L1. We're going to go down. We're going to look about this angle. And then we're going to look out again a little bit. And then we're going to charge. Oh, sometimes you get shot out if you do it too slowly. So if you want to, you can actually put on shield here. So again, do the line up. So then you're going to line it up and charge. And then what you're going to do, you're going to mash square as you finish the charge. And then enter first person with a jump. And then start doing a wall climb. Now, if that gives you too much issue, let me show you another way you can do it. If you're having trouble getting the wrench swing, what you can do is you can pull out your swing shot again. Put on the decoy. Put on shield. Come forward. You can line up. It's a pretty similar angle. And then you can use decoy instead of the wrench. And then you just double jump. What you're going to do, as you do this wall climb, what you want to do is you want to pull back and to the side. So I pull bottom right on my analog stick to get this angle. Now, that's only while you're on the slopes. Because basically how this wall works is it kind of goes up. Where's the camera? So it kind of goes up like that. And then it reaches a flat wall. So what you want to do is on the slopes, while you're getting pushed down by the slopes, you're pulling back to kind of counteract the slope. But then, once you get to the flat bit, so you see here I'm pulling back and to the side. But then, there's the flat bit. So now I'm just pulling to the side. I'm under this orange bit. Because I'm under the orange bit, I'm also looking to the right because there's some breakables here that if you don't break with the wrench throws, then you'll actually get dropped. So making sure you're looking to the right here. And then here, a little bit of a slope around the wall. Second wall. Now this is a flat bit, so I'm just pulling to the right. Then it's going to drop off. Another wall. You're going to climb across and then drop yourself down. Now you're going to stop. You're going to make sure you pull that swing shot so you don't override it. Then you're going to pull out the turret. Make sure you've got turret and swing shot. You're going to charge over this way. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come up to this wall, look a little bit down, a little bit to the side, press circle to throw the turret as you've got that line up, and then just jump through the wall. Then you've got this little thing here. So what you're going to do, you're going to double jump up and wall climb to get on top. You're going to exit first person. Now I'm going to save my position here so that I can show you this jump again. So you see there's this little orange bit. If I wrench swing out this way, you can see that orange bit. If you just jump straight up, the orange bit will stop you from getting in. You actually need to jump in that blue, gray, white bit. That's the bit which has no collision. So what you're going to do, you're going to jump out that way first. You're going to jump out away from the wall before you turn yourself back in. So let me show you this. So you're going to jump out and then turn in and then hyper strike. It's not too precise. It just might take you a little bit of practice. Then you're going to skip this cutscene. Let me show you that again. So the wall's there. So I jump out and then I turn it in and hyper strike. It's not too bad after you get the hang of it. So then you're going to walk over this. You're going to pull out your swing shot. And you're going to come over this way. Go to the ship. And go to Gorn. Now, Gorn. Not too difficult. But now what you're going to do is just try and focus on getting all 4 ships dead. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip the cutscene. We're going to start the mission. We're going to pull out our nuke and we're going to shoot it straight forward. Then pull out the torpedoes and start charging towards this guy. Kill this guy first. Then shoot this guy. Make sure he dies. Got him just before he went around the corner. Then we're going to kill this guy. And then we're going to kill this guy. Pull out turrets if you want. Pull out missiles right after that first torpedo shot. If you really want to. That's a very simple Gorn. And if you want to see how it looks done quickly, I'll do that really quickly. Oh. This guy didn't die. Never mind. Apparently, I don't know how to do it quickly. Let me try that one more time. So that's how Gorn looks done quickly. Alright. So then you're going to go to Sniv. Now this is where the Sheepinade is going to come in handy. One of the most iconic glitches in PlayStation history, I would say. So, this is also where our swing shot storage is going to cash in. So what we're going to do, we're going to again spam X to skip that ship animation at the start. We're going to turn our camera towards this way. We're just going to charge and grab the swing shot, grab the second, land over here. Again, charge, grab the swing shot, get over here. Then you're going to pull out the decoy. You're going to come towards this wall and you're going to just enter first person, or by holding L1, you're going to go down and you're going to clip through. Sometimes you'll miss it. That's okay. You can jump between the decoys and clip through. Or if you're having too much issue, let me show you that again. You can look more this way, then wrench swing through. Might take a little bit of practice to get the hang of that clip, but it's not too bad. So then what we're going to do, we're going to pull out the decoy. We're going to put on our shield. Now, from this point on, it's okay. You can overwrite the swing shot. We don't need it anymore. We're going to charge up the bridge. We're going to come here and we're going to do our first little proxy. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to kill these guys to explain it. Obviously, in a run, you would not stop to kill these guys. I'm just killing them to explain the trick. So what we're going to do, we're going to stand on this edge, and we're going to look not quite on the edge of the wall, but pretty close to it. And the moment you hit the wall, you're going to hit the circle for the proxy, and you're going to hold forward and hold circle. And that's going to pull you up, and you're going to get a ledge grab. So let me show you that again. Just going to look at it, you're going to hold forward and ledge grab, just like that. So then you're going to jump up here, and what you're going to do, you're going to come to the edge, and you're going to just charge. And you're meant to get a hyper strike there. I messed that up. Let me show you that again. So, you're going to charge and hyper strike down. So now you're going to walk far enough back that this guy's hitbox spawns. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull out the Sheepinator, which I forgot to have on my quick select. Normally, it should be somewhere in your quick select. For example, for me, I could put it here. You'd pull it out. What we're going to do, because our shield is still on, we're going to stand far enough away that our shield is not attacking him. And we're going to Sheepinate. And you might take a little bit to get the line up, but make sure the bar's going up. And just every second or so, you're just going to tap left or right. Because if you don't, I'll show you what happens. The idle animation makes the Sheepinator actually go off the boss, and he stops sheeping. There, it happened again. So I'm holding strafe, and every now and then I'm just tapping it so that he doesn't do that. Then what we're going to do, as we approach this last bit, you're going to move close enough that the shield starts zapping him. And then, you see how it zaps the sheep? That's good enough to kill him, so you're going to charge back into the cutscene. And because you hit him with the shield, he's then going to fly up and die. If he doesn't die to the shield, all you got to do is just hit him once, as long as you finish sheeping him. You're going to skip this cutscene, and then go to Smolg. So that's already Sniv done. So that boss fight is much quicker in speedruns. If you've seen the hover bomb poking and that setup, that's a much more advanced strategy. I would not recommend starting with that to begin with. Alright, now Smolg. This, in my opinion, is probably the hardest planet to learn, but don't worry. I think you can do this. So, what we're going to do is we're going to, rather than mashing X to skip, or whatever button you've been mashing to skip the start of the ship cutscenes at the start of the levels, you're going to mash triangle, which is going to pull you into the vendor, which cancels the walking animation a little bit quicker. If you need to buy ammo, this is the perfect time to buy it. Normally in a run, this is where we buy hover bomb, but if you need decoy ammo, then this is a great time to buy decoy ammo, or if you need rhino ammo, whatever you need, this is a great time to buy it. So what you're going to do, after you exit the vendor, you're then going to hold strafe, and you're going to turn this way. You're going to look out just past that light, and then walk towards the vendor. So you're looking out. And what we're going to do, we're going to charge, and then we're going to pull to the right with the decoy to get on the pad. Oop, I messed it up there. Hold up. So let me try that again. So you're next to the vendor. You're looking out. And then bam. So just like that. That's what we're aiming for. Oh, that was a bad angle, actually. So looking out, near the light, to the right, and then jump like that. It might take you a little bit of practice to get the feel for. But like that, you're going to land somewhere over here. So with this, the trick to it is you're going to get your angle set up. Now you can play around with it, whatever works for you. Everyone has a slightly different setup here, so whatever works for you is what you should use. But on this pad, you're going to, after you press circle and hard right, you're then going to start mashing X. So circle hard right, mash X. And that's going to give you the jump on the pad with the speed, which is going to allow you to take it over here. So then after you've got that jump, you're going to come over here. Although, if you're struggling with that jump, if you can't do that jump, let me show you another way to do it. If you cannot get that down, what you can do is you can enter first person. You can come over here, you're going to just charge off. Throw a decoy, double jump, and get a wall climb. So this is if you're struggling too much to get that jump pad strat. It can be very difficult, so if you're struggling, just come over here, wall climb up, and you're going to grab the ledge. So then we're going to exit first person again. We're going to come over here. So what we're going to do, now we're going to need our turret. What we're going to do is you're going to jump into the wall slightly at an angle wide. And you're going to cancel and then hyper strike. This one's pretty hard. A lot of people struggle to learn this one. I still miss this in runs from time to time. So don't feel too bad if you miss this. It's pretty hard. Now, if you do miss it, for example, if you land down here, just enter first person, climb back up, and you're safe. If you miss it by overshooting, like you slide over here, then rather than climbing up here, just go straight to the next spot you need to be, which is going to be up here. Just like that. But if you do hit it, if you do hit it, you're going to set up this next jump, so you're looking at an angle, and you're going to cancel Hyper Strike, just like that. Now again, you're going to jump up here, and what we're going to do a falling neutral. So across this gap, we're going to do one falling neutral to land and side flip over here. So what we're going to do, if you miss this falling neutral, or if you don't feel comfortable with this falling neutral, again, you can just jump over here, do a cancel across there like that, and that'll get you to the same spot. There's lots of ways to do this. Oop, I missed that. You could use first person to fix that. So again, set this up. But if you say fell down here, what you can do, rather than entering first person, come over here. And between here, you can actually get a proxy up to save it, just like that. So you can charge and cancel just as you reach the gap, and you can fix it. So then we're going to jump down here. We're going to come over this way to the rail. We're going to hit the continue point, then jump up. We're going to just walk. Don't worry about jumping or doing anything fancy. We're just going to walk. Now, you can walk the whole rail, but if you feel like pushing yourself a little farther, what you can do, you can come to this spot where you've got pretty much a straight line, and you can charge, and then you can really carefully control it. It's quite finicky, but you can control the charge the whole way to the end, just like that. Alright, then what we're going to do, we're just going to simply go into our options and reload the file. Make sure you load the correct file. Alrighty. We're going to load same thing. Again, mash triangle to get into the vendor, to get out of the walking animation earlier. Again, if you need to buy ammo, if you had a really bad time with that split, you can buy ammo, do whatever you need to do, come back, and go to Grelbin. We're almost done with the run now. Alright. Grelbin's nice and quick. It's not going to be too difficult for you. All we're going to do, again, mash X to skip the starting ship animation. And you should also be mashing X to skip the animation for the ships at the end of every planet as well. I forgot to say that. So we're going to walk over this way. We're going to charge off. We're going to put on the shields. And then we're going to charge this way. And then we're going to just double jump up. First person up. And then look over this way. Exit first person. And go to the cutscene. Now, if you feel comfortable with the decoy, a lot of the time, I'm just like letting myself bonk or stop. If you feel comfortable with the decoy, you can also allow yourself to do the decoy turns around angles like that. So, for example, this charge, you could do a turn around there. If you're feeling comfortable with the decoy, feel free to throw that in. What we're going to do to get the return movement, we're going to walk over this way. We're going to charge over there. Then we're going to charge over this way. What we're going to do, we're going to come to this slope here. We're going to double jump and hyper strike to get up here. Then we're going to jump into the ship. And to Yeedil. Very short split, Grelbin. Alright. Sorry about that. A little bit of a hiccup. Alright. Now Yeedil. What we're going to do, again, mash X to skip the animation. We're going to walk over to the edge. And this is what we're going to need to do a whip jump or a wrench jump. So you're going to charge, wrench jump, hyper strike. That's going to get us over here. We're going to walk back this way. We're going to charge, cancel, hyper strike to get over the next little gap. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to enter first person and climb up this way. Generally, you need to look into the wall. And the collision is not exactly where the mountain might show it is. So it's a little tricky. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to come down here. We're going to double jump over here. And then we're going to just charge. Make sure along the end, because if you charge in, there's actually an invisible wall that you'll get caught on. So more along the edge, we're going to come over here and just charge around. Stay in first person. And then again, we're just going to do a turret clip against this wall. And then we're going to go to Megacorp HQ. what we're going to do then is we're going to look straight down. Make sure you don't look left or right. If you look left or right, then your angle for this next clip is going to be messed up. This is going to be what's called an L1 clip, what we do at the wall. So if you pay attention to what I'm doing here, so this is standard in first person. You'll notice where the turret, where the aim is, but if I hold L1, it moves where it is. So, what we're going to do is we're going to charge straight up this way. We're going to cancel our charge with L1 and keep holding it. You see, this is holding L1, this is not holding L1. When you're looking straight down, the difference is very small, but it is there. So make sure you keep holding L1. We're going to walk around this way, just hold left. And then you're going to hold left, tap circle. And then after the turret places, you're going to very quickly let go of left. And that's going to push you through the wall. So once you're here, what you're going to do is you need to understand how jumping in first person mode works. So I'm going to set a save position here. If I hold left as I start the jump, then I get a side flip, just like that. It's as if you're in strafe. So let me just go back there. First person mode jumping is the same as strafe. So, in strafe, if I hold left and input, it gives me a side flip. If I hold right and input, if I hold back and input, it gives me a back flip. Whatever direction you're holding except forward, it will just give you a side flip or back flip in that direction. And the first person mode is the exact same. So what we need to do is what we're going to do on the wall in first person. We're going to jump and then start holding right as we go around. So we look a little bit in. We're going to jump and then start holding right and go around the wall. If this was the wall, then we'd start here and we'd go around like that. Careful not to hold left because then you'll get a side flip and fall to your death. So again, let me show you this clip. So then we're going to look up, look around a little bit. Jump around this wall and start wall climbing. You're going to climb to the very top. And what we're going to do is we're going to just charge over this way. We're going to exit first person. We're going to charge over this way and hyper strike. And then what you're going to do, you're going to pull out the decoy. If you don't feel comfortable jumping across with these guys here, you can kill them if you really need to. But if you're very quick, you don't need to. And what you're going to do, you're going to just decoy jump across that. Or if you don't want to do a side flip, instead what you could do is you can just decoy and double jump. Just like that. Then you're going to pull out the rhino and charge to the cutscene. I'm going to skip the cutscene. We're going to charge out to the boss, keep your shield on. And don't get too close. Get close enough that the shield can hit it, but don't get too close. And just rhino him to death. And that is the entire NG Plus run. So, hope that made sense. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or join the Ratchet and Clank community Discord. The speedrunning Discord, not the casual Discord. And we're happy to answer your questions. So hopefully this has been really helpful.